Okay. Um, Hi, everyone. My name is Sandy Vasher, and I am a fiction and nonfiction writer and also indie author and publisher. This is Sandy's like way after sunshine sprints because I keep planning to try to do these at 6 a.m., but I think that's not going to happen. I think I'm going to have to do my sprints later in the morning. Uh, Hi, Shadow's Lair. Good to see you here. I am not the parent of three kids. I'm the parent of only one child. And oh my gosh, like, why don't they tell you how much time you're never going to have again? Also, I love my child very much. Um, anyways, so I'm going to do my sprints right now because right now is when I have a babysitter. So it's 10 o'clock. I'm going to get our first sprint started at 10:05. I am hoping to get a lot of words written today because yesterday I didn't have time for any sprints. And so I got nothing done. And those are hard days to overcome. Hi, Devin. Hi, CB. Thanks for being here also. I always like to have company, whatever time of day it is. And I think going forward, what I might do is just only plan sprints when I have a babysitter. I think that's probably the only reasonable way to do it. So is this true, Shadow Slayer? As he gets older, it gets easier? Like how much easier? Like a lot easier or a little easier? Because I could use, I'll take anything, but I could use a lot. Good morning, better days. Thanks for being here today. Let's come up with some word prompts because I'm guessing you guys are all here for Nano. And I think we should do prompts. I always try to do prompts related to stuff that's going on in my life right now. So let's start with something related to time. Your character multitasks with ill consequences. Because, I mean, if it just goes well, then that's not even fair. And that is what I am probably going to be doing today generally. I think I can write most of the time. But you know, you never know. Like if he comes back from a little walk and is upset, then who knows what happens. All right, there's my prompt. I'm still working on my YA project today. Let me know what you are working on. I'm going to get my clock up here so that we can get started. So my writing partner, Chloe Alice Balkan, who has been like doing streams with me for years now. When we first started doing these, we used OBS because StreamYard like wasn't a thing. And OBS is super clunky. And we would have to arrive like an entire hour before the sprint just to make sure that like nothing was going to go wrong technologically. And then sometimes like we would record the whole thing and like we'd be muted the entire time or something. there were like all kinds of amazing consequences. But in any case, so today, because this is now what StreamYard has done for us, I showed up at like 9:59. And that's amazing that StreamYard makes it so easy for us to do sprints like this. If you've ever thought about doing it before, you should totally get a StreamYard account. StreamYard is wonderful and extremely easy to work with. Shadow's Lair, your kids are like yourself, autistic, so mileage might be different from yours. But it got easier by the time your son was 5. That's 4 years from now, Shadow's Lair. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's not think about that too hard for right this second. Let's think about multitasking with ill consequences. Yeah, Devin, I agree. I could also write an autobiography with that prompt. And let's go ahead and get started now. Good luck with those words, everyone. Okay, so that is our first sprint over. I'm at 255 words. So I must like what I'm writing right now because that's a pretty good clip for me for 10 minutes. This is another reason why I think my morning sprints aren't working. I'm so tired when I get up and try to do them at 6 a.m. that I can barely get things written. So if I look back and see how I was doing at 6 in the morning, I'm just not writing nearly as much. But I hope that you guys are writing a lot right now because it's 10:30 in the morning here, or 10:15ish, and that means we should all be totally awake. Golden Hand, thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. CB, fixed your contents page again. Shadows there. No worries, but was finishing a Facebook comment. Devin, 6 a.m. doesn't exist in my life. It shouldn't exist in my life either. I have a deep fear that the kiddo is going to start waking up earlier. He's been crying early. So this morning at 5 a.m., he woke up just sobbing. I think because he was hungry. And you kind of can't ignore that, right? You can't just let him go to sleep. We try to let him cry a little if he just wakes up and seems fussy. So we'll give him a couple minutes, but this was real crying. So we had to get up with him. And I have fears that what this really means is that he is transitioning to an earlier wake up time. He's going to be one of those kids that gets up at 5 in the morning just because, I don't know, that's what time the cartoon is on or something. Well, maybe that's not right. I suppose kids don't get up to cartoons anymore, do they? They probably get up to Netflix if they're going to do that. Oh, a whole thing to think about. All right, let's plan to get our next sprint started at 10. Let's give ourselves 5 minutes, okay? Let's do a 5-minute break. Which will really be a 7-minute break. And then we'll do a 20-minute sprint to what you guys are being productive with. So Shadows there finishing a Facebook comment. Oh my gosh, that's the story of my life. The number of times that I have spent time on a Facebook comment instead of something else. I feel like I just lose a lot of time to social media, and I always feel like it's important. You know what I mean? I don't ever do that and then think, gosh, that comment didn't matter. Oh no, I'm always convinced that whatever I'm writing truly does matter. And then, several days later, I can look back and go, why did I spend so much time on Facebook today? If you're joining us, by the way, my clock there is a countdown to when our next sprint will begin. And that is to keep me from just babbling on, because that is not what anybody is here for. We all need to get stuff done. Let's come up with a writing prompt while we are breaking. How about we do... let's say your character rides the train. I'm thinking about trains because Thomas the Tank Engine was on in my house today. Thomas is ridiculously cute still. And since my husband was real into Thomas, we have a vested interest in getting the little boy interested in Thomas. As far as my story is going, I'm kind of at that part where you're doing action, I'm in the middle, and there's a lot of little action scenes I can do. So I've passed the beginning, yay. I'm not at the end, which will be the most exciting thing, but also probably easier to write than anything else. I'm in the middle, and my characters are trying to do quintessential teenage things. They have sort of a bucket list to complete. So question for you guys. What is the quintessential teenage experience? What do you feel every teenager needs to do at least once? Or their teenage years just were totally not teenage years? I struggled with this. And when I asked my husband about it, he said, Well, obviously they need to go to Cedar Point, which is funny because I don't think he had ever been to Cedar Point. And maybe he had. Maybe I'm misremembering because I have a hard time imagining him here. Imagining him there. We did as a kid. I went to Cedar Point several times. That was the amusement park that was closest to me. I grew up in Michigan, and I do think it was quintessential. But I can't imagine it would be quintessential to someone who lived in like California or anywhere except for the Midwest. So I'm curious what you guys think of as the quintessential experience. And Shadow's Lair, I don't regret this Facebook post because it was mental health advocacy and educating. Yeah, I get that. I mean, you have to. I get that. I think it's important too. And CB, your little cousin is 2 today, and Dad liked Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, I feel like you have to get them introduced early to the things that you like really care about. Otherwise, they're going to spend time watching things like Word Party their whole life. That's probably not true. That's probably just my mom brain being a little fried. And I want to watch Thomas the Tank Engine. Actually, I made. We've watched through all of The Owl House recently, which is a Disney cartoon. If you guys have not seen The Owl House, it's so good. It was way too old for my 1-year-old. He didn't understand anything, I think, that was going on. But it was really cute. It had like a lot of depth and also a lot of good LGBTQ representation, and like the main character is a Hispanic bisexual character who perceives herself as like a geek who loves magic and doesn't get along in like other areas of the human world. So she escapes to the witch realm, and it's really cute. So of course it's being canceled because that's what happens to amazing things like that. But if you haven't watched the first couple episodes, they're really good, and I highly recommend it. All right, so don't go watch The Owl House right now. Let's all get some words written, and let's do a 20-minute. Your word prompt, your characters. Oh, your characters. Gosh, I'm a writer. Your characters rides. Your characters ride the train with relatively good grammar. All right, good luck, everybody. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay, so that is the end of our 20 minutes. I have it's cold in my room. I have a thing I have to get to at 11:30. So I'm going to set a timer here for 5 minutes, and then why don't we plan on another, let's see, that'll put us at 10:50. Why don't we plan on one more 20-minute sprint? Or maybe a 25 even, before we call today a day. And I'll take down my writing prompt. Hopefully you guys got in a lot of words there. What did I do? I spent a bunch of that time like researching quintessential teenage experiences and found nothing helpful. So that was only 220 words for me. Ugh, that's less than I did in that 10-minute. So depressing. Hopefully you guys did better than I did. All right, let's see what the comments are here. So, talking about things that we met. Oh, hi, Emma Decker. Thanks for being here. How about, what kinds of things do we have here? Devin watched Sesame Street much longer than most kids do. I totally watched Sesame Street for a really long time. I did not replace it with pro wrestling. I never started watching pro wrestling. I was just never really into it. And also, I think that it is very funny that you guys are having a good conversation there about Sesame Street and wrestling, and that you've somehow connected the two. Perhaps we should use that for our next writing prompt. Your character All right. There you go. For our next sprint, your character watches a children's television show and wrestles with something. You can take that however you want. All right, so let's see here. Emma got 307 words. Yay. CB 102. Shadow Slayer 437. Devin wouldn't wrestle Big Bird. Why not? I feel like if you're not going to wrestle somebody, Snuffleupagus is the one that you should be like concerned about. Shadow Slayer going to grab breakfast. Yes. Go get food. Food is important. And thanks for joining us. I recently actually started going back and watching some Sesame Street because, again, I've got an 11-month-old and we've got to find some like appropriate television. The new Sesame Street is really super cute. Like there's a lot of really good stuff. I really liked some of the things that I saw. And then I went back and watched some of the Sesame Street like specials, which I hadn't seen in a really long time. I don't know if you guys remember, but like, let's say, I don't know, 35 years ago or something, there was a Sesame Street special where Big Bird and his like buddies get trapped in a museum. I think it's an art museum somewhere in New York. And then Big Bird meets like this little dead Egyptian prince who's been like stuck in the museum for years, and like every night some scary demon comes and like asks him a riddle and he can't get the riddle right, but if he ever does get the riddle right, then he's going to have his heart weighed against a feather, and if it's lighter than a feather, then he goes to like, I don't know, the equivalent of heaven or something, and like gets to be with his parents, but otherwise who knows? It was like really scary. And I remember as a kid being like fascinated by this and also like quite terrified. So I went back to see if it was legitimately kind of scary. And yeah, it was. It was. In some ways, I think children's television has become much more violent. Sesame Street, not obviously, but then sometimes I go back and see things that I saw when I was a kid, and like there were some questionable things that happened when we were kids. Oh, and Emma, thank you. Quintessential teenage experience, getting your heart broken. That actually, yeah, that is a quintessential experience, isn't it? I don't know if I'd put that on a bucket list, but I think one of my characters might. All right, let's do 25 more minutes. That'll put us at 10:15. Give us a good solid amount of writing time for this last sprint. And good luck, everybody. I'll see you back here in 25 minutes. Okay, that is the end of our writing prompt. That's the last one I'm going to do today. So I'm going to count up my words here. Let's see. 478. I could definitely use some more words today, but can't do it right now. It'll have to be later. So, yeah. In any case, I hope that you guys got a lot of words in. Let's see, Emma 368, CB 97, Shadows Flare 228. Great job, guys. Any words that you're getting are words towards your Nano count, right? So I hope that you're all on pace, or wherever you need to be with Nano, or at least accomplishing whatever you're trying to accomplish today. I am probably not going to be back until next week, probably on Monday. And this time around, I doubt I'll schedule my sprints until the day of. So you can always look on the Word Stitch channel. Chloe sometimes does things. We might have a Monday Word Stitch. It kind of depends on her availability and mine. I tried to participate in some of it this week. And then had to leave at 4:30. So we'll see what we do with Monday, but you can always watch for us, subscribe so that you see our notifications pop up, and good luck with your Nano. I hope that you have many, many, many words that get written between now and when I see you next. And thank you so much for participating in these sprints. I get so much more done when I have company. So I really, really, really appreciate the participation. And yes, go see more sprints. Devin keeps an awesome list of everything that's going on. So go check that out right now if you want more writing. And I'll see you next week. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.